HSE Office Interview Question and Answer, COC, Question. Explain types of work permit normally used in oil and gas industry. Answer. Hot work permit, red. Cold work permit, green. Radiography permit, yellow. Vehicle, mobile plant entry work permit. Confined space entry permit. Cold work permit. A document that specifies precautions, identifies hazards and controls all work that is not hot and radiographic in nature. Hot work permit. A document that specifies precautions, identifies hazards and controls all work involving actual naked flames, sparks or has potential for creating sparks or heat. Radiography work permit. A document that specifies precautions, identifies hazards and control all work involving radiographic in nature. Vehicle, mobile plant entry permit. A document that specifies precautions, identifies hazards and controls all work involving entry of a vehicle or mobile plant into a hazardous area. Confined space entry permit. A document that specifies precautions, identifies hazards and controls all work involving to an enclosure, which has limited means of entry or exit, not designed for continuous occupancy. Question. What is EWP, Electronic Work Permit? As per COC. Answer. Electronic Work Permit, EWP, is a web-based solution through COC intranet to manage electronically the authorization process of non-routine activities which are carried out in COC business as per permit to low work procedure. Question. What is cold work, hot work? Answer. Cold work. Any work that does not involve a source of ignition or naked flame or do not have spark generating potential is classified as a cold work. Hot work. Any work which involves the use of naked or a source of ignition or spark generating potential is classified as a hot work. Question. What is the excavation? And types of excavation? Answer. Any man-made cavity, cut, trench or depression on an earth surface formed by earth removal. Manual excavation. The excavation without using any powered equipment. Mechanical excavation. The excavation work using any electrical or mechanical equipment. Question. Why excavation notification required for excavation? Answer. Excavation notification gives detailed information about the underground facilities and it is to be signed by all COC concerned departments to confirm that the proposed excavation location has been identified. All safety measures have been taken for the existing underground facilities. Question. What are the excavation hazards? Answer. Cave-in or collapse of soil. Risk due to presence of underground installations, pipelines, cables. Drowning due to water seepage into trench. Soil vibration due to machinery, heavy vehicles operations in the vicinity. Lack of oxygen or asphyxiation etc. Underground obstruction or damage to buried pipelines and services. Accidental fall of personnel or equipment inside a trench. Struck, hit by excavating machinery. Dropped, falling objects. Flammable and toxic gas release. Exposed to airborne contaminants. Fire and explosion. Electrical shock due to contact with energized electrical, telecom cable. Possible presence of explosive devices. Damage to shallow underground services due to weight of heavy equipment such as mechanical excavator. Encountering wet solid, mixed with water, or reaching water table. Encountering contaminated soil. Question. What are the safety precautions required for a safe excavation? Answer. No excavation work in COC area without clearance of explosive ordnance disposal, EOD. No mechanical excavation closer than 5 meters to any hydrocarbon carrying pipeline. No mechanical excavation closer than 3 meters to a non-hydrocarbon carrying pipeline, cables and services. For any excavation deeper than 1 meter, ladder must be positioned projecting minimum 1 meter above the edge of the excavations. Ladders shall be provided every 7.5 meters, 25 feet, of lateral travel in the trench. Ladders shall be securely supported at the bottom as well as at the top. Excavated material shall be placed in from the edge of the excavation for depth up to 1.2 meter. Heavy equipment, machinery shall be kept at least 3 meters away from the edge. Any walkway across trench shall have scaffold-type platform with handrails. All trenches shall have barrier, such as fixed guardrails, and reflective warning notices clearly displayed. Flashing lights are mandatory during poor visibility. The access to plant, equipment and emerge services must not be obstructed by the trenches. No mechanical excavation is allowed inside the existing COC facilities, gathering center, booster station, water injection and handling facilities, etc. Question. What is confined space? Answer. Any enclosure having a limited means of entry and exit and it is not designed for continuous occupancy. There will be a presence of any hazardous substances such as flammable and toxic gases, oxygen deficiency, hot or humid atmosphere or any combination of it. Examples: process vessels, tanks, bins, stacks, large pipe, duct, pits and trench etc. Any excavation with depth more than 1.2 meter. Question. What are the confined space hazards? Answer. Oxygen deficiency. Presence of flammable, combustible or pyrophoric materials, HC, sludge etc. Presence of toxic gases, corrosive or hazardous materials, H2S, CO, NH3 etc. Poor illumination, ventilation 8. Communication. High temperature A. Humidity. Limited entry and exit, restricted access. Restricted movement inside. Falling, tripping hazards. Presence of reactive or self-igniting material. Hazard due to electricity or moving machinery. Hazard due to pressurized fluid. Hazard due to nature of work carried out inside confined space. Question. What are the important precautions for confined space? Answer. Procedure for entering confined space. Permit must be procured for operations, making sure of the following. Complete isolation of the space to be entered. Draining, depressurization and purging or cleaning should be performed. Gas test should be conducted to ensure no hazardous atmosphere is present. Space ventilation. A pre-task meeting must be conducted with all authorized entrants prior to entering confined space. Question. Explain fire triangle. Answer. Fire triangle is a diagram which represents the 3 components that creates a fire, such as oxygen or air, fuel and heat, source of ignition. Absence of any of the components, fire would not occur. Question. What is the different class of fire, types of fire? As per COC. Answer. Class A, carbon-based combustible materials, wood, rubber, paper, fabric, etc. Class B, liquid, petrol, oil, thinners etc. Class C, gases, acetylene, propane, LPG, butane etc. Class D, metals, sodium, potassium, magnesium, require special extinguishing agent. Class E, fire involving energized electrical equipment as electrical cable, electrical motor etc. Question. What is fire extinguishing principle? Starving. The removal of fuel to the point so that nothing remains to burn. Example, turn-off valves. Smothering. The removal of air or oxygen to point so that combustion ceases. Example, fire blanket, foam and sand. Cooling. Cooling of fuel to the point so that combustion vapors are no longer produced, and temperature is dropped below ignition point. Example, water spray etc. Question. What LS transmission of heat? Answer. Conduction: heat from one body is transferred to another by direct contact. Convection: heat is transferred by a circulating medium, either a gas or liquid. Radiation: heat is transferred from one body to another by heat rays, a medium in between.